Hey, so I haven't recorded a video in a while, like one capable of uploading to the internet. So that's what I'm doing right now. Pretty much just here. This is my second semester back at SLU. It's my first semester as a senior, so I'm a first semester senior. Finally, after such a long time, but better better late than never. Um, yeah, it's been a crazy journey. I've made some great friends. I've experienced a lot of new things, being like a new person and being back here. And last semester was pretty tough for me. It was hard to get back in the swing of being a student and, much less being like a trans woman on campus. So that's been new and different. Pretty much, yeah, that's been it. And now, and a lot of things like challenging my intelligence, thinking if I was even smart enough, compared to a lot of the younger students and stuff that are here. I've been like, oh my God, I've just been so out of practice and I'm so out of touch with like, studying and talking in class and raising my hand and, all this kind of stuff. And like, I can understand what a lot of the professors are saying, but I guess part of what I really need to do is demonstrate that I am taking in the information, which is, I definitely am, but I definitely need to be better at that, and that's hopefully what's going to be happening this semester. Yeah. In the love front, I mean, obviously, I'm not really too interested in dealing with any of the kids here, because that's what they are to me, kids, you know what I mean? Like, so I don't really want to deal with them on that kind of level. But other than that, friendship-wise, I've definitely made a lot of great friends, and they're all very open to even being friendly with me, and I've received a lot better, a lot more acceptance than I thought I would. So that's one thing. Um, One thing that I really wanted to talk about was just, being trans on campus in general. And I know a lot of girls out there are, you know, afraid, or they feel like it's definitely taking you out of your element, something you're not used to. A lot of us, to be honest, we rely on our um, looks, our sex appeal, and things like that to get us by in life. And that's very valid and very real, and a while ago, that might have been the only way to even really try to get anywhere, is to exploit ourselves for what we are. But now I think things are changing, and I think we need to change it. And I think we need to show that we're more than that, and that we, are totally capable of doing other things. So that's kind of my goal. Although I still have no idea what I want to do with my life, like specifically. And it's like I'm starting to see the school counseling services, so school therapists or whatever, and I'm like telling her all this kind of stuff, and she's like, oh well, she brought something to my attention that was like really important, like, oh, do you want to do something with your life that is going to purely revolve around the fact that you're trans? And, I really thought about it. And, my first reaction was to be like, no, I want to do something that it doesn't matter that I'm trans. But then, as I sat there and actually thought about it, I'm like, you know what? Me personally, yeah, I do. I do want to do something that revolves around the fact that I'm trans, because I'm proud to be trans. And, that's why I do, my little prints that look like this, and, all my drawings and whatnot are very much like that. Even classes that I take kind of revolve around that. And maybe it's because of, it's what's in my mind, and it's kind of like what has motivated me, but that's exactly it. It's been what has motivated me. And I feel like a lot of other people aren't as motivated because of it. Or, there are a lot of people who aren't motivated, who actually, the inverse, who are very, feel like that there isn't much that they can do or whatever. And I mean, I know that there are plenty of other things that I could do if I wanted to. Like, yeah, okay, I could stay in school forever and I could be a teacher. Not that I ever wanted to be a teacher or anything like that, but I mean, I could do that. I could, do whatever. But even art itself revolves around the individual person. So art is something that I'm definitely interested in, and I know that that is something that would reflect that I am trans, and I think that I would capitalize off of that, to be honest. But besides that, I want to do activism. I want to really be a part of, making awareness for trans people, letting the world know that we even exist. Because, like, where I am right now in the North Country, in Canton, New York, at St. Lawrence University, people don't even know what trans is. And I was just totally taken aback. And even with all the gender studies classes that are here, like, even students, some students don't even know what that means. And everyone thinks, like, oh, and then, like, oh, so you've had surgeries and, all this stuff. No, I haven't had any surgeries. No, you don't need to have surgeries to be trans. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to do anything. People are just floored and can't believe that my whole transition has been all hormones. It's like a hormonal transition for me. Thus far, anyway. I mean, if I could afford some surgeries and stuff, I'm sure I wouldn't. But then again, I mean, I would. But then again, surgery doesn't make the person or anything, because there are plenty of non-trans people who have surgery. You know what I mean? I don't understand how people just assume that, like, you must go through, you know, a, you know, surgical change to really, you know, change your gender. Um, I mean, you don't even have to do anything. You don't even have to do hormones if you don't want to. You throw on a wig and call yourself a woman, and you know what? You're a woman. And that's what gender is, and that's what transgender is, because you are transcending or transforming or trans whatever. You are crossing some bridge and changing one thing into another. And that is that transmutation, whatever, transcontinental, whatever, the word transit. I don't understand how people are, like, not, like, doesn't anyone, maybe etymology should be a class that people take to just realize, like, what words actually mean. But I mean, well, then again, there are many a word in the English language that don't even mean what it means. But anyway, I'm digressing. But the fact of the matter is, I want people out there to know, like, you can be anything. You can do anything you want if you put your mind to it, and if you make the moves to make it happen, it can happen. I mean, we should know that as trans people in general, because who the fuck ever thought, oh my god, like, I can change my gender, I can change my sex. Like, before I even became trans, when I first found out that it was even possible, I was like, oh my god, are you serious? Anything is possible. And you can, anything is possible. You put your mind to it and you can make it happen. And so I am here, and I am in school, and I am doing everything I have to do. It's not easy. It's never easy. Nothing in life is, as we know, also being trans. This is why it, like, boggles my mind that there are so many trans people who just give up. And it's like, don't give up. Be out there. Make yourself aware. Like, I mean, I get it. I get the whole wanting to be passable thing. I get the whole wanting to, blend in with society, because, yeah, it is easier. But at the same time, like, act like you don't know what it's like to be a brick. Act like you don't know what it's like to, when you first start wearing drag or whatever you're doing, and you don't look 100%, like you want to look, and people spook you, but you still did it anyway. You know what I mean? That didn't stop you. So why let anything else stop you? And then why should we even, especially in these days, like why should we feel the need to hide who we are? Like there's I don't get it. And someone told me, once I'm like, oh, and this was them trying to be a little shady towards me, which is whatever, but if you were passable, then you would understand. And I'm like, and since when is being passable like up here and being, true with yourself like down here? Like since when? I don't know. Because even and let's say something else, because I don't consider myself passable, never have, and never really will. But everybody keeps telling me that I'm so passable, and you know what? Passability is different everywhere you are too. In New York City, maybe I'm not passable because I'm 6'3" and whatever. Sorry, I don't got tits out to here, and super big eyelashes, and you know, whatever. I don't do that sometimes. I mean, I would. I ain't going front. I would, but I want to be doing it to try to be passable. I'll be doing it to try to make myself feel, beautiful for myself. And I feel beautiful even for myself sometimes, and I am beautiful. So let's not even talk about that. And we all are beautiful in our own very way, because trust you me, you know what I mean? There's somebody out there for everyone. And there's people who like all types of different things. And beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And it's also like a regional wherever you are thing. Because up here, I'm apparently extremely passable. Nobody even freaking knows. And then when I tell people, they are gagging and guffawing and just totally like, what? Like, no. There are people I've been like in rooms with them for like hours and who didn't know. I'm in the gym and people don't even know. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oof, my tuck fell out. They're like, what? I'm like, I just slammed, like, like slammed some crazy information into their mind. I mean, whatever. I don't care. And that's just me. I don't care. I'm like all about, you know, being all over the place. But whatever. So, I don't know. That's my little spiel for now. Yeah, that's it.